afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast Lehr with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda and instruction. Today's topic is for the Propagandacast Lehr, the Tiger Racer unit that has seen many iterations by now and has been changed in so many ways, going for a single-time unit that just entirely broke your economy, but also just blew out the enemy unless they rammed, in which case it was pointless to this now, where it's basically just a more expensive and slightly better Tiger tank that requires a bit more investment compared to the regular Tiger tank, but certainly starts out with a few extra abilities on top. I mean, otherwise it is pretty much just a Tiger tank with slightly better stats. I believe its whole machine gun is improved comparatively, and it starts at Veteran 1 now, which means it starts out with Blitzkrieg, but beyond that it's not really that vastly different in terms of stats from the regular Tiger tank. Like, its major differences is basically it starts out with Spearhead mode. Well, it has access to it at Veteran 2, which is basically like the King Tiger Spearhead mode, meaning basically it turns its turret faster in an arc around of it. You can see farther. Also, as the ability never ever mentions, it gains suppressive fire on its machine gun, specifically its whole machine gun, meaning that infantry running around from the Tiger Ace can actively find themselves suppressed. This is actually a really powerful ability. In fact, it used to be at Veteran 1 and they had to change it to 2 because too many people got pissed off with it being a Veteran 1 ability on the Tiger Ace, which it had meant it had access to it right away. But Spearhead is a really good mode, and honestly, if you're using the Tiger Ace already there, you want to be using it a lot of the time. Sure, it means you have to worry about getting flanked, but honestly, just using Spearhead mode really sort of makes the Tiger Ace a great deal bigger that way compared with the Tiger tank. Suddenly, again, there's a bit more skill involved. And then, of course, you get access to vehicle crew repair, meaning A, if it suffers engine damage or the gun gets knocked out, you can quickly fix that. But also, it's just good for fixing up the Tiger Ace itself. It costs you 35 munitions, not quite as good as some of the allied self-repair abilities, but it still takes you quite a far away then. Certainly one of the things I sort of note a lot of players, even some of the higher rank, but not highest rank players do, is they fail to use vehicle crew repair. I mean, if you're going for the Tiger Ace, which you want to stress costs 800 manpower and 250 fuel, which I think makes it probably the most expensive unit in the game currently, generally always has been though, you really just want it back in a fight as fast as possible. Just whenever you can pop the crew repair and just get it fixed up much faster. Like, it really makes a difference there in how much time your Tiger Ace spends off the battlefield compared to others. That's really also one of the major things that also makes the Tiger Ace stand out more compared to the regular Tiger. It can fix itself, meaning again, it can spend less time off the battlefield. So really use the ability, because it's really sort of the one thing sort of go, hang on, why is this chap not using self-repairs? Really, use the abilities available. Use Spearhead mode. Use the vehicle crew repair when you're using a Tiger Ace, or there you'll find yourself doing a lot better with the Tiger Ace compared to other people using it, or just generally, again, it'll be doing a lot better than a Tiger tank because it can function more independently of the Tiger tank, but it can also just do more than a Tiger tank, get back into the fight faster than the Tiger tank. So, in that sense, the Tiger Ace advantage is basically it can sort of do a bit more than the regular Tiger tank and just get itself back into the fight faster. Plus, it gets access to its higher veterancy abilities, theoretically faster. Like, it doesn't have to spend a veterancy level on Blitzkrieg, so theoretically, again, it just gets that better bit more range and accurate veterancy fast, and of course shoots fast and moves fast, effectively fast, because again, it skips the veterancy level. So that's kind of where the Tiger Ace sort of stands now. Is it good? Of course it is. I mean, generally though, you don't want to just rush it out. That can actually set you back. But generally, like say, have a tank or two out, then going for the Tiger Ace is not a bad idea. Like, you can sort of swing things hard around. And again, if you know how to use it and use its abilities, it can be a really formidable opponent for your opponent to have to deal with. Of course, it is not invulnerable. It will still die to enough fire. Your opponent focuses down with tanks, anti-tank, and the tank destroys. It will die. Hence, you don't want to just store it right for it, because again, you'll signal to your opponent you're going for the Tiger Ace. Don't do that. Have at least a couple other tanks. Plus, having other tanks very crucially also means you're not bleeding too much manpower, because your own tanks will draw fire, meaning you can more easily save up for the Tiger Ace. So that's also an important element to keep in mind when you're trying to go for the Tiger Ace. A, it screens you from telling your opponent too hard you're going for the Tiger Ace, but also makes it easier because again, you won't be bleeding too much manpower constantly, meaning you can actually more safely go for the Tiger Ace. Whereas again, just go straight for it, your infantry will be bearing the brunt of it, meaning it actually becomes harder for you to go for the Tiger Ace, because you then also have to sort of sacrifice your own infantry forces maybe, and thusly cannibalize yourself to then make room for the Tiger Ace. So there's a lot there to keep in mind while trying to go for a Tiger Ace as well. But otherwise, use it, wisely. Don't just charge into where all of the guns are. Obviously, it's sort of a spearhead tank, so it'll be like leading your assaults, but that doesn't mean your assaults have to be going straight into every anti-tank gun the enemy has. Like, that's a really critical element. Like some people just try and strengthen everything they have. Like a good flank with the Tiger Ace using spearhead mode can also be quite devastating towards your opponents. And generally, like what you want to use the Tiger Ace for example, is just quickly clearing out high priority targets like anti-tank guns. And again, particularly with some veterancy, veteran 2 again, it's quite accurate. It can thusly quickly clear out the anti-tank guns, meaning you can just quickly pull off there. Obviously, you want to support your Tiger Ace as well. Like again, if you're not using the Tiger Ace to deal with anti-tank guns, use some Pentagon leaders and Stormtroopers, then clear it out, clearing the way for the Tiger Ace, then deal with the priority targets amongst the armor you then want to deal with. But otherwise, a good flank with the Tiger Ace can also be very powerful, again combined with spearhead mode, since again you can suddenly appear from there, hose an infantry that's not quite ready for it, with the suppressor fire, the machine gun when you're using spearhead, and of course you can use the Tiger Ace to sort of hit all the priority targets and deal a lot of damage reasonably fast. So, keeping those things in mind, again, a well-handled Tiger Ace can be potent, but it is expensive and it can be tricky to go for, and it's not something you want to go for in a lot of cases. But, like, if you're to ask me, Dane, should I go for a Tiger Ace or the Panther? I would say the Tiger Ace, because the Tiger Ace is good. The Panther is sort of, yeah. Again, like the Tiger Ace ability that makes it, better. Like, you got spearhead mode, which really just puts it above a lot of other armor. You got self-repair, so again, you can sort of get it back into the fight fast. Like, it's just good. Would I say to go for it always over Tiger? I mean, Tiger Ace doctrines do have some flexibility, like strategic reserves and elite troops, but you really run like a regular Tiger tank because it's cheaper and more easily accessible. That's also fine. I mean, again, like the overall major difference are some smaller stat differences. Again, it technically only has 2 levels of veterancy because Lord starts veterancy 1. Again, those 2 abilities. So in many ways, it's better, but it's not like it completely renders the regular Tiger tank, useless. I mean, the regular Tiger tank is still pretty good, and of course, if you somehow manage to get a regular Tiger tank to 23, it's also really good. It's just a veteran 3 Tiger Ace will just be a bit better, and it will be there a bit faster. So that does give the Tiger Ace in that way some strengths. So keeping those things in mind while using the Tiger Ace, which again is primarily just remember to use the abilities. Don't just try to solve straight away for a Tiger Ace. It can bite you in the arse, and otherwise just support it properly and use this firepower to quickly deal with high priority squishy targets. And otherwise just tear through armor. And of course, remember to keep it supported with infantry and tanks. If you do that, you'll find your Tiger Ace taking you quite far there versus the opponent, and probably just get a few of them a bit upset, which can psychologically then give you a bit more of an extra advantage. So there you go. Hopefully this video has been enlightening for you on the topic of the Tiger Ace. If it has, subscribe, like, share, comment. Remember to press the bell button as well. This is Imperial signing off, and see you another time for another video. Cheers.